We had another close presidential election with Donald Trump winning over Kamala Harris. Let's take a look at history and some analytical data to understand the potential impact of the next 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency on the infrastructure construction market. Hi, I'm Taylor Maurer, founder and senior managing partner of Heavy Civil Resource Consultants. We are a boutique search firm specializing in executive search for mid-level to C-level construction and engineering professionals in the infrastructure sector. Now, before we dive into what the next 4 years under Donald Trump might look like, let's take a quick review of the pre-election poll results from our poll conducted after the end of Q3 2024. We asked, after Q3, what is your outlook for the next 4 quarters in the civil construction market? Here are the results. 22% felt like there would be strong growth, 34% expected moderate growth, 32% anticipated stagnation, and 12% of the market, or 12% thought the market would shrink. Now, with the election results showing Donald Trump as the clear winner and the Federal Reserve just cutting the rates by another 0.25% after the election, these two factors should signal a swing toward a higher level of confidence in the construction market based on these poll results. Let's take a glance at some other polls that would support this hypothesis. We asked construction professionals, which presidential candidate will invest more in infrastructure construction over the next 4 years? With a total of 256 total votes, the results were decisive. 74% thought Donald Trump would invest more, compared to 24% who thought Kamala Harris would invest more in infrastructure. This aligns with the results from another poll we conducted asking construction professionals about their political orientation. The results were quite telling, with 53% identifying as Republicans compared to only 11% identifying as Democrats. I would say that there seems to be some consensus in the industry that the Republican Party is pro-business and generally favorable to the private sector. The party advocates for less government oversight and typically promotes low tax policies. So this sounds fantastic for the infrastructure construction market, right? Well, let's take a look at some historical context and what the president-elect has been saying about his policies on the campaign trail. As the construction industry looks ahead to a new Trump administration, there are some concerns that he may attempt to claw back unspent funds from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and the Inflation Reduction Act. Those were two major bills with substantial allocations for infrastructure projects. Now, although no such action has been taken, Trump has suggested he might consider cutting funds from the IRA. Given the strong bipartisan support for the infrastructure projects, particularly in rail and transit, it's unlikely that Trump would reverse the commitments made in the IIJA. With so much political backing for these projects, pulling back those funds would be a difficult move. Now, historically, Republican presidents have struggled to push through large infrastructure bills. President Trump proposed a $1.5 trillion infrastructure plan, but was only able to secure $144 billion for transportation and $21 billion for water infrastructure during his first 4 years in office. In contrast, President Biden was able to secure $1.2 trillion in infrastructure spending, which will continue into Trump's second term. Look at this list of major infrastructure bills and the party in power. Historically, Democrats have been more successful at securing infrastructure spending. Now, at least 2 of Trump's campaign policies aren't favorable to bolstering the infrastructure construction market. First, there's the question of how Trump's tariff policy will affect construction materials imported from China. According to a 2020 report by the U.S.-China Business Council, China supplied around 15 to 20% of the total construction materials imported into the U.S. Some of the most common materials include steel, aluminum, cement, and roofing products. this could have a significant negative impact on profit margins for contractors utilizing these materials sourced from China. Secondly, it will be interesting to see how Trump's immigration policy unfolds, as he has threatened mass deportation. We face a major challenge. Undocumented workers make up about 15 to 23% of the construction labor force in the United States, according to various studies. One thing's for certain, undocumented workers represent a significant portion of the construction labor force. In a recent poll we conducted, we asked, are you concerned that if elected, Donald Trump's immigration policy of deportation will negatively impact the skilled labor workforce? The results were concerning. 19% of respondents thought it would have a severe negative impact. 20% thought it would result in some negative impact. That is almost 40% of respondents predicting that a greater labor deficit in our infrastructure workforce, which is already the leading challenge for many companies. We already see a massive shortage of skilled labor. According to the Associated Builders and Contractors, 59% of builders cite the lack of skilled workers as their top challenge. In our recent poll of civil construction company owners and executives, it revealed that 76% felt the most significant constraint of their revenue growth was the lack of qualified candidates. To summarize, while most construction professionals believe that Donald Trump and the Republican Party are favorable for strong growth in the infrastructure construction sector, President Trump could cut some allocations from funding put in place by Biden. And historically, Trump and the Republicans have struggled to secure major infrastructure investment. But maybe most importantly, there are at least two key Trump policies on immigration and immigration deportation and tariffs that could negatively impact issues contractors are already facing. Tell me what you think, and check out our pre-election end of Q3 civil construction confidence poll here. Also, stay tuned for our next two civil construction confidence polls after Q4, post-election results, and after Q1 2025, once Trump is back in office. As always, if you are seeking consultation to improve your hiring in the infrastructure, construction, and engineering markets, please book a free 15-minute Talent Capture Accelerator consultation with me. You can see my calendar below. Thanks a lot.